The 16th Non-Aligned Movement Summit began Monday in Tehran, where delegates from more than 100 countries will discuss the Syrian conflict, nuclear disarmament, and global human rights issues. For those who aren't familiar with the Non-Aligned Movement, here's a bit of its history. The organization is sort of a leftover from the Cold War era. In 1961, states that didn't align with either the Western Bloc or the Eastern Bloc decided to start their own group. Most of these states were developing nations. Some say the group lost its relevance after the fall of the Soviet Union, but today it still has 120 members, consisting of states that say they don't align with any major power bloc. An editorial on Tehran Times has boasted Iran's hosting of the summit as a way to ostensibly foil the malicious plots to isolate Iran. Earlier this month, the Obama administration expressed its displeasure over the location of the summit, calling Tehran, quote, strange and inappropriate for such meetings. But despite U.S. and Israeli objections, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon is still attending the event, as well as heads of state from 50 countries. RT talks to investigative journalist Pepe Escobar, who says the summit is the meeting of the, quote, real international community.
Just look at the map. Central America, the whole of Central America, including Cuba, most of South America, virtually the whole of Africa, the Middle East, Southeast Asia, the whole of Southeast Asia.
Foreign Policy says the U.S. should take the non-aligned movement more seriously. Understanding the NAM requires not treating it as a kind of grand axis of evil. If it has represented anything across the last 50 years, it has expressed the desire of the world's newer states to retain their political independence in an often threatening world. Despite having human rights in its agenda, the Council on Foreign Relations says the oft-criticized human rights situation in Iran will likely be ignored during the summit. Iran is a dictatorship where freedom of thought, press freedom, academic freedom, and free elections are non-existent. The underlying problem of the NAM has always been its indifference to basic human rights. The summit began Sunday and will continue until Friday. For Newsy, I'm Zach Toombs. Multiple sources, The Real Story.